Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Video Store Rewind, where we tackle things from the 80s and 90s, things that you might remember, things that you don't, things that are good, and things that suck. To my right, I have one of the hosts of this fantastic podcast, Zach. How you doing?
Hi, pretty good.
And to his right, yes, I had to think about it, is our friend Matt, or Maddie.
Hey, I'm Maddie.
And I am Richie.
How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Matt?
I'm doing good. Zach, what's been new?
Oh, depends on how far back you want to go.
How about today?
I went disc golfing. It was kind of fun.
Did you get the aces?
No, I will never get an ace. I
Were
never
you,
have, and I
the,
never
were you
will.
the only one, you and your friends, the only one on the course, or were there other
No,
people
there was another group of dudes that were like,
Were they really getting high?
no, they're kind of nerdy. No.
No.
They were fucking drinking like iced tea. And,
Oh,
oh, no, they weren't. I just kind of joked that.
Now-
I was like, oh, another Coke.
I know you guys. I know you guys can't see him, but Matt and Zach can both grow facial hair. I grow patches. Did they have
Well,
neck
you
beards?
don't have the physical ability to grow it.
It's just patches. But did they have neck beards? Were they neck beards? Is that what they call
I didn't
them?
get that close to them.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of neckbeards, I don't know why we're tailing off this way, but my trimmer ran out mid shave, so I had to actually grab like the clippers for a head.
You just had to
And
break a window. Break a
I
window
did the
and-
line right here, and that was like,
Yeah.
God, I feel like I was going to cut myself, man.
As long as you don't use those for other.
What about you, Matt? What's going on?
Grooming. Nothing really. Let's see. I'm more than halfway reading The Stand right now. I
Put this
got
in
to-
perspective for people. How many pages about?
I'm at 950 and the book's 1426 or something like that. So I got a lot of reading done when I went to Chicago, like a lot.
So
I read
far,
like
so good,
300
though?
pages. So far, it's so good. Not my favorite. I can't see how it's anybody's favorite.
Randall Flagg is the name, right?
Randall Flagg is
Okay.
the walking dude. Yes.
Yes, there we
It's
go.
good, but there's a lot of people saying that that's like his magnum opus.
No, it is his
Stand?
magnum opus.
I thought the Dark Tower was supposed to be his magnum opus.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would probably be it for me.
I've not read a shit ton, but
But
I would say
my
it is
favorite's
definitely-
still Salem's Lot. Still
Oh.
Salem's Lot.
Okay.
Excellent. Yep.
Okay.
I know why you say that.
We've been
Because it's fucking awesome.
Well, it's also Stephen King's favorite.
I don't care.
Would you have thought that Stephen King? You don't care what his
I've
favorite is.
always wanted to read Salem's Lot, and once I did, I fucking loved it.
Excellent.
Because I read Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I love that book, and it's pretty much the same damn thing.
You know,
but
my brother
in the 80s.
My brother really loves King. Reads all his stuff, and he really likes the Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Lestat from Anne Rice.
The Vampire Lestat was good. I think I read that one.
I have not
did
read
not
either.
read
I have the Vampire Lestat in my house. You know, I told you I'm a bibliophile. I love having all these books around that I
Same
can
here.
choose to pick from. The problem is picking one. So I'm not reading anything right now. The only thing new with me is he's going to be 10 months old, and he's been teething, and the teething is causing acid
geez.
indigestion, which is
Yep.
causing diarrhea, which is causing sleepless
and fevers
sleepless
when the
night.
teeth are breaking out, dude.
Oh, it's so much
Screw
fun.
that.
But when he's in a good mood, he's just fantastic. We also got a new car. We got a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Hey, congrats.
Went from a crossover to a luxury SUV.
He's like, he doesn't have air
luxury
conditioner, but
SUV.
you know.
I don't know what a crossover means.
And you know all the money that we
It's
received
like
from
a
this
hybrid,
podcast.
like the SUV kind of.
I was gonna get like the $100 lease, but then all the money that we're garnering from this podcast, I was able to go to a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Good call, my friend.
So far, we're negative. Everybody, you can donate to us at www.we'rebrokeasfuck.com.
We're about, what, 250 in the hole?
Exactly.
Some more than others.
So Zach went disc golfing. Matt's trimmer ran out, and you should see his facial hair. It looks really funny. No, it doesn't.
Thanks,
It
man.
doesn't.
Thanks.
Did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut. Oh yeah, I got a haircut.
I need one of those so
Thanks, man.
bad, but
I'm glad that people can see this.
well, they will.
That's right.
We'll have
You look
accompanying.
good. Thanks, man.
We've actually got a team of photographers and a camera crew behind us that we pay very well. And
Well, they're
that'll be
documenting
upset.
everything.
If we're super quiet, we're super quiet, we could hear the shutters. So many.
Keep it down,
Yeah,
guys.
keep it down, guys.
It's-
Wait, was that a Polaroid?
Is he
Scarlett
flapping it dry?
Johansson.
Flapping it dry. Okay, today, guys, we're here to talk about a movie that was released February 1st, 1991.
Popcorn.
It's got a runtime of 91 minutes. Some of the cast include Jill Schoelen as Maggie, Dee Wallace Stone as Suzanne, Tom Villard as Toby. My personal favorite,
right.
exactly. My personal favorite is Kelly Jo Minter,
Who?
whom
Which
was
one's
in.
Kelly Jo Minter?
She's the black
Tina?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
the one that does
Cheryl, I
the
believe.
poetic.
Exactly. She was in
African-American
she's
chick.
in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
She's super
in,
hot, dude.
She's
I
in a
I love
bunch
her.
of stuff.
She's
I
hot.
actually just so my co-hosts know, she read our Facebook message and she did declined our offer. She didn't respond, but she ignored me. So I was trying to get
We
a
get a word from
I was trying to get a call-in drop, but it didn't happen. Anyway, like I said, we're here to talk about Popcorn, released February 1st, 1991. Movie, in my opinion, it was ahead of its time. A little bit, was the word meta?
Maybe. If you, all right.
Depending on how you look at it. The film follows a young film student named Maggie who is having these dreams of a young child running from a crazed madman with a bindi sword. What do we call it? I called it a curvy sword.
Scimitar.
Well,
A scimitar.
Bindi Irwin sword.
I
Wow.
call it a curvy sword. Matt calls
believe
it
It
it's a
reminds me of
scimitar.
like one of those like Arabian Nights type swords.
yeah, the scimitar.
It was actually I had
Willow.
a Willow action figure that had one of the characters had a curvy sword.
Willow
a
from the
scimitar.
movie Willow?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, she has these dreams of a young girl being chased around a
That's a
fire
fucking scimitar.
by with a guy wielding a scimitar.
Nice.
We find out later on that she's a film student that is in a struggling department. So the class decides to have a nice little fundraiser where they put together this old movie theater in a nice 80s montage. They put it back together and they show, how many movies was it?
Three.
Three movies? Three movies: The Amazing Electrified Man, The Mosquito, and The Stench.
And, the
Ew.
Aroma Vision or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
All of them.
Smellorama.
All of them were accompanied
Smell-o-vision.
by
Smellorama,
cheesy gimmicks that were used in the original showings. All these movies were written and directed. Just a little fun fact.
Zach and I both agreed that we would love to go to a movie like that.
Oh yeah, it'd be
that
great.
would be
So
absolute
the
fun.
idea is, I don't know what the price of a movie ticket was back then. I should have looked it up. But instead of charging, let's say $4 or $5 to get in, they charge everyone $10.
Yeah.
The place is jam packed. They make the money they want to earn for their
It was,
film
that theater
department.
was full of extras.
Exactly. So they're coming in costume. It's like Rocky Horror. They're going crazy. So these film students are running the show, and as they're running the show, they're getting knocked off by a mystery killer. And
There you go.
we find out a lot later on, and I think I'll just leave it
It's
at that.
one of the greatest American twists.
It is a very good.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked the
It's
twist
a
at the
better
end.
twist than The Sixth Sense.
Getting up to it was a nightmare for me. I just gotta say it. But it was one of those movies where the ending makes it, for me.
The ending, my opinion, we've talked about this before. The ending to this movie is pretty much well acted by the guy for a minute.
Yeah,
but then
he did great.
It drags. Let's say it's 10 minutes long. It needs to be about 5 minutes shorter.
He
at
does
least.
a good job of
The
you don't
song.
get
Were you
bored
talking about Toby?
at the end, yeah.
Spoiler
Death
alert.
by Mosquito.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh yeah. Well,
The number one-
we'll talk about that when we talk
Okay,
about the movie.
so guys, box office wise, Popcorn, its opening weekend grossed $2,563,365. All in all, when it was said and done, it got $4,205,000. Unfortunately, put that all together, and they did not recoup their budget.
What was the
$15 million.
What? Wait, what was the budget?
Jeez.
$15 million.
No.
Dude, that's what everything I looked up said.
There's
$15 million.
no
Well, you got to think of
way.
the.
But listen,
we'll talk about what makes
It was
15.
plagued with troubles. The guy who directed all those shorts was the original director of the
Yeah, I
movie.
read that, yeah.
Okay. The star was replaced. The original star was Amy O'Neill. Who,
Yeah,
was
Honey, I Shrunk the
Honey, I
Kids.
Shrunk the Kids. They replaced her with Jill Schoen. Just all kinds of problems.
And it was shot in Jamaica, so that can't be cheap, right? Right.
Well,
there.
that's where the home office of the studio was. I think that's why
Never
they
mind.
went
Why
for
would
it.
it be? They had to have gone there because it was cheaper.
I guess you're right. I never thought about that.
Because why else would they do it there?
Other
I don't
notable
know.
releases this month, February 1991, King Ralph,
Nice.
John Goodman, The Neverending Story 2, and
Oh.
Silence of the Lambs, which grossed $130,742,000.
I almost got so excited, but he added the two at the end
It's,
of Never Ending
it's
Story.
sad that the Silence of the Lambs didn't get more recognition.
Exactly.
That was a great
1991, we'll go top 10 real quick. We'll go Terminator 2, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
Terminator 2, man.
Beauty and the Beast, Silence of the Lambs, City Slickers, and I'm running out of room here because I left my notes. I didn't have them together like I should have been.
Can I add something about
Yeah.
the Terminator 2?
Yeah.
I don't know if this dude
T2 is
has
not
done it recently or not, but he's taking classic movies and he's adding video game music to them.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah. I've
yeah.
seen some of those before.
They did Terminator 2 with the Mega Man 2 soundtrack, and it is absolutely hilarious.
How do you remember the first time you saw Terminator 2? How excellent was that movie?
I loved it. I
its
loved it.
time.
Terminator 1, yeah.
T2.
Oh, so I'm not like a huge action movie fan, but that's in the top 5
Right.
best.
It's being
ever,
re-released this
ever.
month in a 4K Ultra 3D version.
But see, it doesn't
Gotta
matter because it
do
wasn't
it.
shot in 4K, so it's
Exactly.
bullshit. It's,
Okay.
what's the word you use?
We're
3K.
We're getting
When you
off a little bit.
upcycle- not upcycle, but-
I'm gonna end this real quick. Okay. City Slickers number 6, Hook. 7,
I
Adam's
love
Family.
it, dude. I
8,
love
Sleeping
Hook.
with the Enemy. 9, Father of the Bride, and 10. My favorite. The fact that this is 10.
What is
great.
it?
Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear. So obviously, Terminator 2 is the king with a budget of $102 million. It dominated the box office for quite some time. After all foreign ticket sales were
$100 million
counted,
budget.
it grossed $519.8 million worldwide,
Ew.
compared to Popcorn's $4 million. Popcorn is ranked 129 for films released in 1991 and number 80 in the genre horror slasher with Scream 1
Wait,
through 3.
129? That's actually pretty good.
For the year 1991, but I was more impressed with the fact that it's number 80 all in all in the genre of horror slasher. Scream 1 through 3 are actually 1, 2, and 3. Then it goes Freddy vs. Jason, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th original, Nightmare on Elm Street
Texas
original,
Chain-
Halloween original.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. What about it?
Wait, are we talking about the same year or just
No,
all-
I'm saying I was
the whole
going in.
genre?
No, yeah, this was going into
Oh.
it's number 80 in the genre of slasher, and I was just
Gotcha.
putting that in as Scream 1 through 3 or 1, 2, and 3.
I remember seeing Freddy vs. Jason during the blackout of 2003, and MJR was like the only place that had power.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Really? R.I.P. Kelly Rowland. She's alive in real life, but she dies like a motherfucker in that movie.
So
That's 1991 box office wise, and I know there's a lot going on in other places like TV.
why did I think T2? We should do 3/4, 1/4. That's cool. No, that's fine. I always thought T2 was 92 for some reason.
I did too, and that's why I'm googling it.
I'm
but-
basing that on nothing.
No, my
Absolutely
entire
nothing.
life.
I don't
If
know
you
why I
would
just
have put a
has to
gun to
be
my
two.
head, if you would have put a gun to my head, I would have told you for sure it was 1992. But no, it's I think July
I would've said
'91.
92.
Very nice. Summer blockbuster, huh?
Of course. I should have looked. I wanted to look it up and I
see that
didn't.
list
I'm a
again.
piece of shit. It's July 3rd, 1991. I'm really sad I didn't look it up, but I wanted to see how long, because it was the highest grossing movie of all time for quite some time.
T2?
But I don't know. Yeah.
I
Let me
could
see
see
that
that.
list again.
See the what?
Let me see that list. You said something I had a question about. I don't
Okay.
remember what it was.
Okay, I'll find it. Terminator
your
2, I mean,
documents.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, you put him in a leather jacket, give him a motorcycle, a couple fucking guns, and you're in. They
Well,
tried that a
all
couple more
All
times.
you had to do is
and
give him a good director for once.
it's not really a list. It's kind of hard to follow, so if you have a question, just let me know. There's that tail end, and then at the bottom of this is the regular.
That was you had a list of movies. Oh, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I didn't put
I
the
came
Prince
up
of Thieves.
upon Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and I don't remember why. Oh, I know why. Sorry, I'll get into that later.
Zach, I just wanted to let you know that everything I do it for
That's
you.
why, because that was one of the top hits in 1991.
Well, oh, what?
That's right. I was
Dude, that
confused.
song was everywhere.
Yeah, apparently it was way bigger in the UK than it was here.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really big here.
The Brian Adams song or the movie?
Brian
Brian
Adams.
Adams.
I love
There's a
Brian
movie?
Adams. What's that?
There's a movie called Anything.
No,
Everything
No,
The-
I thought you were talking about
Robin
Robin Hood still.
Oh no. I mean that was big too, actually.
Zach, you were with me when I got my wife the Brian Adams Cuts Like a Knife vinyl.
Cuts Like
when
a
we were-
Knife.
Yeah, dude,
I got my
love
wife
Bryan
a bunch of Brian Adams albums, and then I found out she likes Ryan. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
But-
you got that?
but what the fuck is that about?
Pretty easy mistake.
It's yeah. I love Brian Adams. No shame in my game.
No shame, man. All right, what? So besides the UK smash hit "Anything I Do It For You" by Brian Adams, what else is going on in music out there in 1991?
All right. So should I preface this by who brings us this little list? All right. So
Oh, we got a sponsor. I forgot about that.
Let's give
Our-
our
our
shit
That's
little,
what
out.
they're paying for the camera crew.
Pop Culture Rewind here is brought to you by none other than Farmer Jack, reminding all of our listeners that it's always saving time at Farmer Jack. And also just want to remind all our listeners that for every third or fourth package of PB Crisps or Dunkaroos that you buy, they'll give you extra mileage, Sky Miles for Northwest Airlines, Pan Am, whatever can. So, all right, so as far as
Don't hit the table.
If you want low prices and quality every day, it's just a matter of fact.
Farmer Jack is the store that's always leading the way.
It's just a matter of fact.
And it's always savings time. savings time at Farmer Jack.
Oh yeah. All right.
We got the fucking Karate Kid over here, ladies
So
and
we're
gentlemen.
gonna do short and sweet on the music here. We're just gonna talk about these are the Hot 100 singles that were released in February of 1991.
100!
Yeah, when the film was released. So this one I don't know. The First Time by Surface. Does anyone know that? Because I listened to it and I don't.
No, can't
No,
tell
I
you
really,
this.
I really didn't. I listened to the whole song. I didn't know what it was.
What is it?
It's like it's like a slow R&B type song.
What's it?
I don't know how it goes.
Well, say it again, though.
It was called The First Time by a band called Surface.
Oh, God, no.
No, I don't know either.
The only first time I know
No
is
idea.
"Feels like
But
the
a
first
huge
time."
one. Gonna Make You Sweat by CNC Music Factory.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Super big. Freedom
Freedom
what's
Williams.
Freedom Williams. Yeah,
Freedom
I remember the
Williams,
name.
also a star of an episode of the Red Shoe Diaries. But go
Really?
ahead. Yes.
Nice. Let's see. All the Man That I Need by Whitney Houston. I think one of her. It was a hit, but I didn't. I listened to it. It wasn't real familiar. I don't remember how it
That
goes.
does not sound familiar at all to
I
me.
listened to the whole thing. It was vaguely familiar. But again, those are the songs. Those are the only songs that were in the Hot 100 that were released in February.
Yeah.
And the best-selling single of the year by far was "Everything I Do It For You" by Bryan Adams.
What a ballad, man.
Oh God, yeah.
So
See, I
good.
skipped
So
though.
good.
I don't know how I skipped that one in my previous note. Okay.
Private
Sorry.
nerds.
Yes.
Should we touch on TV?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so obviously, the highest rated shows in 1991, 60 Minutes, Roseanne, Murphy Brown, Cheers, and Home Improvement.
Time
Murphy
out.
Brown.
No. Murphy Brown was awesome. I used to watch Murphy
I
Brown.
wasn't
I
Kramer.
never watched it 'cause I
wasn't
didn't get the
Kramer
jokes.
on an episode of Murphy Brown?
Quite
in the-
possible.
Oh well,
The Seinfeld.
Kramer was. I mean, Murphy Brown was in an episode of Seinfeld because Kramer had gotten a job
Right.
as an
really?
actor
Yeah.
on Murphy Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
Shut up. I do think I
And like
remember
she's
that
like
now.
she's like stick around.
The
I think I'm
fact
gonna
that
like
60
you.
Minutes was up there, that makes
Yeah.
me kind of happy that people were trying to stay informed in 1991.
But even more interesting were the 1991 TV show debuts.
tell me.
Some good ones. I wrote some decent ones and some not so decent ones. But all right, Clarissa Explains It All.
Oh.
Wait, trivia. What was the little alligator's name in the pool?
Boy, I don't remember.
Elvis.
As soon as you said it, it's like, oh, duh, it was Elvis.
Sorry, that was quick.
The Commish.
The Commish.
I remember the
Commish.
Commish. I remember because my parents watched
My
it.
mom watched that
That's
show.
Michael Chiklis, right?
Yeah,
On The
Michael
Wire?
Chiklis.
All right. Darkwing Duck.
Oh my god, dude! I
Oh.
love Darkwing Duck.
When you're in
Apparently I
trouble,
wrote
call
Darkling
DW. Right?
What's that?
It's like the song's like, when you're in trouble.
I am the terror that slaps in the night.
Something it was like, if you're in trouble,
sounds
you
like-
call DW or something like that. But-
DW. Dude, I love. Dude, oh man, take me back.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaurs.
It was all right. I wasn't a huge fan.
Oh,
I
man.
hated Baby Sinclair.
Yeah,
Oh,
not the
I
mama.
love the dinosaurs. I love the dinosaurs.
Bullshit.
What a sad ending to a show, by the way. But anyway, go ahead.
Wait, how's it end?
They fucking all die.
Yeah, the meteor.
The meteor
of
comes
course.
and destroys everything.
Oh wait,
you-
how many seasons was that?
2 or 3. I
Not
believe.
enough.
2 or not enough.
Not
The only thing-
enough.
actually, there was a big toy in the '90s. It was talking Baby Sinclair. That was one of the.
Kidding?
I had a
No, I'm
cassette
not.
tape, like a dinosaurs soundtrack, and it was like Baby Sinclair rapping on it. Oh man!
Wow,
Fuck.
4 seasons of this show.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it's not more.
I remember when the show came out and it was very it was a big deal, and I don't know why. Why was it a big deal?
Just because it was like a live action sitcom and those puppets, the puppet suits that they wore.
People went nuts for live action stuff like that, like the suits and all that. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Ninja
this show
Turtles.
is apparently conceived by Jim Henson.
Yeah, it's a Jim Henson production. Yeah, it's the logo every
He
episode.
wanted to be a sitcom, blah 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 blah. He died right before the premiere. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read this on the air, but okay, yeah, geez, I didn't realize that. Anyway, let's see. James Bond Jr. Remember that cartoon?
Let me see.
Bond Jr.
No one can stop him, but Scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through the
He
weathered
loves-
skies. He learned the game from his
Oh,
uncle
shit.
James. Now he's heir to the game. James Bond. James Bond Jr. Look out, he's coming through. He's okay.
Oh my god!
I won't go for the second verse,
That's
but you
too
get it.
funny,
I
man.
watched
Radio for one.
I watched that shit. He had a mullet, but go ahead.
A lot of big talk shows debuted.
Ooh, can I guess one?
Yeah.
I think I tried to guess this last time. Is it the Joan Rivers? Did she have a talk show that year?
She did not. She was not a talk show host.
She had a talk show.
She was a comedian.
Joan Rivers.
No, she had a.
I
talk
tried
show?
doing her voice. I can't do it.
Absolutely. You know,
Rivers.
the story behind Joan Rivers, off track a little bit, sorry.
That's pretty good, Zach.
Is that she was really good friends with Johnny Carson, and when
Yeah.
he would go out on
She
leave,
guest hosted
she
for
would
him.
guest host.
Well, she was Ed McMahon for a little bit.
And then she got offered her own talk show. Like, it was like when Johnny retires, Joan's taking over. Well, she got offered a talk show at whatever fucking network, and she had the Joan Rivers show. It was a talk show, and Johnny Carson felt like that was the biggest slight ever, and he never talked to her again.
Oh no, I didn't.
Like
know that.
30 years of friendship down the drain. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's gross.
Just
No,
a random fact.
I didn't realize she had a talk show.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maury Povich,
Povich.
Montel Williams, Jenny Jones show, Jerry Springer. Those all debuted in 1991.
Jenny Jones.
Yeah.
Man, terrible tragedy on that one. You remember that?
No, what happened?
The guy from Michigan, the homosexual guy, said that he wanted to sleep with his neighbor, and he told him live on TV. And when they came back to Michigan,
someone killed him.
he killed the homosexual man.
Oh, I did
And
hear
it
about that.
shut Jenny Jones the fuck down.
No.
I did not.
I do remember
not
that
recall
story.
that.
It was big back then.
I was too busy buried in the Super Nintendo to watch TV.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Jeez. The only thing I remember about Jenny Jones is that I really liked a band back in the 90s called G Love and Special Sauce. And they they were on the talk show once. They like played them out, like, you know, at the end credits. They had a live thing. They were on. They're really good. Anyway, Land of the Lost came out that year. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
The remake, right? Was Land of the Lost?
It had to have been a remake because
It was a remake,
I don't
right?
remember.
because the Land of the Lost is from the 70s.
Right.
That's
okay,
Marty.
Right.
And
So it was
whatever.
the
Sid
new
and Marty
one. Yeah.
Croft.
I believe.
Why the fuck do I know that?
Is it the monkey's name Atuk?
Atuk.
I think it's Atuk, right?
Bless you, man.
The
That was lame.
the premiere of MTV's Liquid Television. Do you remember that?
Oh my
Beavis
gosh!
and
Yes.
Butthead.
Eon Flux.
Aeon Flux.
That's
the big
all I
head.
remember.
Syphil and Ollie.
Syphil and
yeah.
Ollie.
Chester is
Big-
my favorite character.
Remember
of
the
all
big
time.
head though? The guy with the gigantic fucking
Yeah,
head.
what was that?
Yeah.
I think it was called Big Head. I don't
Was it?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
remember that being really funny.
No, it was called The Head.
It was just called The Head?
The Head, I think.
Oh, man, really
All right,
funny.
we're getting way off track. All right, sorry, we
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
keep
let's
going.
go.
We gotta
A
keep it
couple
moving.
more. Ren and Stimpy debuted.
Oh my god, what a
Ru-
great
Rugrats. Salute Your Shorts.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Salute
Hey,
your
listen,
shorts, dude.
it's my fault. We keep getting off track. You know how I always I got those fucking weird T-shirts I always wear and shit.
Yeah.
I've got one that's
Graphic teeth.
Zeke the plumber. And
Zeke
he's
the
and he's
Plumber.
standing in
Oh,
front of
yeah.
the Camp I Don't Want to sign, and
Oh
it
my
says
gosh.
Zeke the plumber.
He
in,
came
like,
in through the
80s font.
floorboards, right?
What was the joke about that? I don't quite
It was their
remember.
Halloween episode. They always replayed.
Yeah, it was a scary, and they all the doors were locked, and they were trying to figure out how he got in and killed the campers, and he came through the floorboards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, as I said, Step by Step debuted.
Oh, good show.
VH1's Talk Soup.
Cody the woman beater.
Yeah.
The game show What Would You Do? On Nickelodeon, which
yeah.
I loved, and apparently I don't remember anyone else that liked it, but I really liked it.
I liked it a lot, man.
I don't remember what it was about. It was just like kooky. It was like
It was outdoor kids activities, right?
No.
That's Wild and Crazy Kids.
That's Wild and
What
Crazy
Would You
Kids.
Do was like
It was
it
indoor,
wasn't Double
like-
Dare, but it was
I
like
think it
Double
was
Dare.
something about like they had to do something where they had to choose between one activity and another.
Yes.
I just remember that there was a big nose. Or no, is that Double Dare? What's the nose where the snot comes out? Is that
That's
Double
What
Dare?
Would You Do, I think.
Was it?
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Double. No, that's Double Dare.
No.
You had to get a flag out of it.
Yeah, that's Double Dare, yeah.
What am I thinking of?
It was the
No,
the
at the
course
beginning-
at the end. It was the what's it called?
It was like a quiz show. You had to do stuff, and then there was also physical challenges like crawling through stuff.
What Would You Do is kind
They
of
were
like
both
Double Dare,
hosted by
but
the same guy, though. Mark Summers did both of them.
yes, he did. But What Would You Do is more. It was less. I think it was less physical, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I
I
think
don't
it was more of
remember.
a
I
game
have to
show.
look back at it. Anyway,
Mark Summers.
You can answer, or you can take the physical challenge.
That's what it was.
That's Double Dare.
That's
Yeah.
Double Dare. That's Double Dare.
Okay.
That's Double
You
Dare.
know, Mark Summers is crippling
OCD.
OCD. Yes.
Yeah, I read about
Which,
that.
if you're dealing with all that slime, I imagine it's got to be pretty fucking hard.
But the last TV
He's like,
show
you can
that-
hear him he's like, oh, you're really in there.
You're fucking pretty dirty. It's all over your ear. The ear's the trigger.
Also, Where in the World.
OCD's not a joke, guys, but you know,
Because
come on.
I have terrible GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder. So if anybody's listening, I'm with you, bro. I know exactly what it is.
So, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego also debuted as well?
Oh man.
Where in the
Gum
world
shoes.
is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, it was great.
That sassy black woman chief.
Oh, she's great.
Oh,
Listen up,
good.
gumshoes. Guess what? We're going to name a bunch of African countries that you can't find.
Uganda, be kidding me.
She.
No? No one?
No one.
You know, our friend Lauren was.
I love that.
That's a Chelsea Handler comedy special.
Oh, is it really?
It sure is.
Well,
Oh,
our,
God, I'm gonna
our
edit
friend
that
Lauren,
out, dude.
Our friend Lauren Tiz.
No, he's
she
not.
went to.
Show me your tizzities?
She went to Uganda.
Yeah.
And I was like, when she announced it, I was like, oh, that's so sad. One day you're here, the next Uganda. Womp, womp, womp. Thank you, Zach, so much for that journey into 1991 television. I know there had to be something going on. What were we playing? I was doing more than playing with myself as a 7-year-old boy. Matt?
Playing with myself at 7 years old, unheard of. I think
Yeah,
I
you
was
grabbed
like,
you grabbed your wiener and
not
like,
at
flicked
7. Oh, I did that, but I mean,
There you go.
shit,
Okay, that's what I
masturbation
meant. I
came
wasn't-
a lot later. Maybe
it. I was
14?
I was not speaking of masturbation.
Maybe no, he was younger than 14.
I was tittling my wink, but
Tittling my wink.
what else is going on in 1991, Matt?
I just want to touch on one of the greatest hailed as one of the greatest games of all time came out is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Came out for Super Nintendo.
What number is that? If we're going numbers,
I don't have recent numbers right now, but it sold.
no. I'm saying what number, as in like Die Hard 2 is Die Hard. Or
Oh, that
what
is the
Link-
third. That is the third Zelda
3.
installment in the main series because they broke off and did some Game Boy Advance games and some other Game Boy Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, all that. But yeah, it's the third one, and it could you guys guess how many copies it sold? Could you just I don't know
no.
maybe no, not even close.
I would say like 4
35
million.
million.
What is it?
35 million.
35 million? No, it's a lot. It's a lot lower. It's 4,610,000
Oh,
copies.
whoa!
You said.
What'd you say?
4 million.
Oh, you did? Yeah, good
I
call.
was just trying to guess.
I wasn't
like,
even listening.
I was trying to guess like in my head like I know like home video games weren't that popular back then.
Right.
Try to-
But yeah, it was a huge game. It was coming from Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 from the NES, that 8-bit garbage, even though it's a great game. I'm sure you guys have remembered playing Legend of Zelda on the NES at least once.
super frustrating.
Gold cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah, it was
Classic.
awesome. It was the best video game that ever came out for that time. But when it came out for Super Nintendo, we're talking better graphics, we're talking better sound, better. There was an actual soundtrack that was 98 minutes long.
What's the bit difference?
Nintendo is 8-bit, and I believe it's 16 or 32.
Okay.
No, wait, Sega was 32. Super Nintendo, I believe, was 32.
Sega was 16-bit, I thought.
Yeah, I think
Isn't that
it
what
was.
the
Yeah.
app-
was
I
it
think it was like
16?
on
Set
the
it right
machine.
on
yeah.
the console.
Oh, it was 16. No, I thought it was 32.
You know, in the age of the internet, you can find out anything. So Matt's gonna
You know,
find that
after
out.
16,
Because
I
it's
don't
got to be
think
a big one because I mean the graphics for all those games was drastically changed so much.
Yeah, 32-bit.
32-bit.
32-bit, yeah.
Sega was?
Yeah, it usually doubles. 8, 16, 32, 64. Nintendo
Like
64.
Nintendo 64?
Oh, that's great. But anyway, you wake up, you're sleeping. Your uncle wakes you up and tells you, "Hey, I'm going to the castle. You stay here. Don't be a dick." And he's all right. Well, I'm gonna be a dick. And he goes after his uncle. But what's funny about this game is once you meet your uncle, he's like, "Hey, I thought I told you to stay at home. Here's my sword and shield." But
In
it's
today's standards, like here's my 9mm.
yeah. Here's my 9mm and a fake police badge.
I used to watch that horrible Zelda cartoon and I liked it. So.
Well, excuse me, princess. Excuse me, princess. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. That's about it. That's all I got for video games.
Video games.
Yeah, just it's still hailed as one of the greatest video games of all time.
And it came out on what?
It came out on Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Yep,
And
Super
was
Nintendo.
that was also
1990.
19.
The prior
Was
year,
it?
yeah. Yep.
1990s
Bummer.
when Super
It was
NES
bummer.
came out.
Yeah, Super Nintendo came out in 1990.
Wow. Why
Link
did
to
I
the
think it
Past
was
came out in
later than that?
1991. That was like where the world changed. You go light world or dark world. Such an awesome
When did the
game.
original Nintendo came out?
85? 83?
No, 83. 83. I'm pushing all the chips in, Zach, on 83.
No, 83. I'm going to say 85.
I'm gonna say you're fucking wrong.
July 15th, 1983.
What?
Listen.
Go
I don't
to
want
hell,
all the
Richie.
apologies to come at me at once. Fucking, I want you guys to rewind that and listen how fucking confident Zach was. That was wrong. He gave me a look. You're not here. He gave me a look like you
And
fucking idiot.
I like rolled my eyes and shook my head like you stupid.
He actually threw feces at me like you fucking idiot.
So yeah,
all
that's
right, we can get into the movie, but there's just two things that I wanted to point out from prior research that I did about this film. These movies were released in July '91. Point Break, Terminator 2, Problem Child, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Hot Shots, Boys in the Hood, Dutch. One of the top songs that you went through the hot whatever.
Yeah.
One of them was Rush Rush by Paula Abdul. And I brought this up before. The guy who ruled the world in 1991, who probably smashed the most ass, has to be Keanu Reeves, who was not only the star of Point Break, one of the stars of Bill and Ted's, but also starred in the Rush Rush video, which was a recreation of Rebel Without a Cause. He was the heartthrob of the video. So I can just imagine that if he was not a married man, he probably was
Didn't realize
raking
that.
it in.
May I touch on a Point Break trivia real quick?
Didn't we?
You can touch me.
What is Anthony Kiedis' only line in Point Break?
You asked me this earlier.
Oh, we always every
time somebody-
anytime the movie comes up. Now that would be a waste of time.
Thank you, Richie.
Oh, I bumped
That's
the mic.
it?
Sorry, guys.
You
That's
win.
it.
That's it.
And then I have to bring up the fact that he tries to block the door with his foot when the house gets raided, and they blow off. They shoot his foot, and his fucking sneaker blows up in this disgusting meat explosion. It's gross. He never walks on that again. There's no way.
I don't think I would ever heard anybody say meat explosion in my life.
Oh, trust me.
It's
Some
just two
of
words
my,
that don't go together.
Not the next pick I have, but some of the picks in the future we're going to be talking about meat explosions because it's going to be fucking. I'm going to go there.
gonna watch
I hope it's
Scanners.
campy as fuck.
Okay, I've seen Popcorn 3 million times. It recently came back in because I bought this
I've seen it
re-release
3
high
times.
definition Blu-ray. You've seen it 3 times.
Yep.
I've seen it once.
I want to start with Zach. I want Zach to start off the first thing he thought the first 5 minutes of this movie when it starts because Zach, fresh eyes, not a big fan, not a big fan of the genre. I mean,
Right.
not of the film. I don't know what he really thinks of the film. So,
Zach, what are your thoughts?
Zach, first 5 minutes of the movie, what's going through your head?
He's already
Be
smiling.
brutally honest.
Well, first 5 minutes, it's hard to determine like what you're seeing because the first few minutes are like a dream sequence. It's the main character having this dream about she's being killed or being chased by the guy from that guy that made the Lanyard Gates, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, you're right. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say the greatest name in movie history. They were like, "Hey, what's that thing on your neck holding your credentials? A lanyard?
Lanyard. Yeah, fine.
Oh,
We'll
you're in
use
front of
that.
a gate, so lanyard gates."
I mean, I'm always skeptical anytime I first watch a movie, but once you get into it, it was better than I expected. Like, it's actually
Did it take a while for that to come up, or
Not
or
really,
Were you like 15 minutes? You know, when you're watching a movie and you get to that 15-20 minute marker, and you're like, "I fucking hate this movie," or like, "It's not that bad."
Oh, yeah. Everybody does
Was
it.
your first initial reaction like this fucking movie, and then you liked it?
Well, I
or-
never do that if I know that other people like it. If it's a movie I don't have any other opinions of from other people, then I might. But if someone likes it, I'm like, yeah, I always give it a chance. But after about 20, 30 minutes or so, it's actually really well made. Like, the makeup's pretty good, the lighting's pretty good,
Yep, the lighting.
like the cinematography is not bad.
Whoa.
Like, it's pretty well made.
What's up, man? Our levels are
No, my I just went like, yeah. And it was like,
like,
ah!
danger,
Sorry.
Will Robinson, danger.
Sorry,
There's
go
smoke
on.
coming out of the laptop.
Yeah, my initial reaction just watching it was like that it was a little bit better than I expected, but by the end of
Cool.
it, yeah,
Cool.
better than I expected.
So like we said earlier on the brief synopsis is that she has the dream of a young girl being chased through a fire by a man with a curvy sword scimitar.
Scimitar.
Yeah. Anyway, so she is recording all her thoughts, and you find out that she's very interested in making this dream into a screenplay and
movie,
an
yeah.
eventual movie.
Right.
Because we find out that Maggie is a film student at I should have had this note, but a
Where?
very generic.
Nowhere.
Like it's like Ocean View, California University or something.
Well, there's a scene, or was that another movie I saw? There's a scene where it shows you where she goes
Oh
to
yeah,
school,
the headers there, like
and I don't remember what
It's
it
like
said.
it's like something very like generic. Like they're
Ocean
like,
Valley.
Ocean Valley U or
credit.
something. We're introduced to her.
Phoenix
Not,
University.
I don't know. It's not her boyfriend, but this dude who you don't think would be. He seems like the handsome jock.
Is it Mark?
Mark. He's very, very into her.
He's basically Kevin from Just One of the Guys.
I wanted to point out. I told Zach this last night. I really like, or the night before, whenever we watched Popcorn. I like the fact that the setting is when they're in college, not high school.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was cool how they did that because
you didn't want a
they're already
40-year-old?
established in their field.
You don't want a 40-year-old to play a 17-year-old again?
Right.
They looked
now
like
the actors
college
are
students.
They
Yes.
look like
The actors are playing the characters whose age is the real age.
It's a weird concept, man. Weird concept to have people look their age. It's weird.
Like Bill Allen was like
so
25.
Matt, can you remember Matt, Zach? What? Fucking okay. Mark is so horny. He's like, I just need you, Maggie. I want you so bad. And what does Maggie say to him? This is 1991. Don't forget, okay?
I don't remember.
She's concentrating on her script. Isn't
But she said, yeah. But then she
Oh,
said,
what did she say?
She says, "This is the era of safe sex. Safe sex.
Oh,
Mark.
yeah.
And any sex with you isn't safe."
Yeah.
Boom. Which is kind of ironic because one of the other stars of this movie, Tom Villard, he died of HIV.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Toby?
Toby died of HIV.
I thought he was really good. By the way, note, doesn't he kind of act a little bit like Jim Carrey?
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Couldn't you see Jim Carrey in that role?
Oh,
Absolutely.
especially with the
100%.
part with the ears.
Yeah, the ears. He's
Oh my
all
god,
like
the flapping of the mask.
Yeah.
That
he's
was
all
the-
like goofy at the end, and
Yeah, we're gonna.
So
we're gonna
then
make a,
we go inside and we
an all-night
meet all
horror-thon.
this cast of characters. You got Bud in the wheelchair. You've got Toby. You've got her friend Cheryl. Just
Who did we agree that Buddy was from Saturday Night Live?
Bobby Moynihan.
Yes, Buddy.
But you know what? Having a
Look
guy in
like
the
a
wheelchair is kind of, isn't it kind of like a, not an homage, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
I think
had a
that
guy
every
in the
time.
wheelchair,
I watch it.
right?
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, I think that. Yeah.
Oh, that guy got fucked
He
up,
looks a
too.
lot like him. Like in my head, they look alike.
And there
when
was
I
a guy in
watch
a
it.
wheelchair in one of the Jason movies too. I can't remember
Oh,
what it
yeah.
was. But he comes behind him and like he comes behind the wheelchair and like hits him in the face with
Also,
a machete.
Dream Warriors.
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Dream-
I'm a wizard.
Dream
I'm a
Warrior.
wizard.
Does anyone have that new Dokken album?
Dude. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so in here they decide. Toby comes up with a great idea. The Dreamland Theater is close to being demolished, so we're gonna have this this film festival, and we're gonna show all these films from the 50s and 60s, and we're gonna associate these gimmicks with them.
The gimmicks are sweet.
The gimmicks are sweet. The amazing electrified man, a man on death row, gets electrified and
Crispin
doesn't
Glover's
die.
dead.
Right.
Played by Crispin Glover's crazy ass dad. Did you watch any of the special features? They
No, I
interview
didn't.
him and he's like, I was like, man, this guy looks like Crispin Glover a little bit, and it was like his name wasn't Donald Glover because that's Childish Gambino, but
No.
it was like so and so.
Wasn't
Glover.
Danny Glover.
I googled it and it's his dad. But so the amazing electrified man, there are the electrodes in the seat that'll zap your butt when he gets electrocuted or electrifies something. There was the mosquito, which is about a nuclear powered giant mosquito. And then there was the stench, which is about a mysterious stench that was found in a cave in Japan.
That awesome part where that mosquito sticks his little proboscis, is that what it's called?
Proboscis.
Through the roof of the car,
Proboscis.
through the roof of the truck.
Through the roof of the truck and his
Oh,
head.
yeah.
That was awesome. That was great.
It actually the makeup's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
I wish like for when they were doing the 50s movies, like they would have made the makeup a little bit worse because it would have been more like.
Realistic to that era.
But like, whatever. If you want to, whatever, just do it. I guess.
So
was great.
all those movies, like I said, were written and directed by the original director, and then he was replaced in the film Popcorn.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people, when you do research, they really, really enjoy these little snippets of movies, and they're like, I wish they were full length and we could watch those movies.
Yeah, they probably didn't make full length versions.
There's
of that.
probably all
They
kinds
probably
of
just
stuff,
shot
like-
what they needed to.
So they decided to go. Green light is go.
I
to
thought
the
they were
Dreamland
equally
Theater.
as good too. I like those I like those three movies. They were pretty cool.
So they go to the Dreamland Theater. They see it's just in shambles. So obviously, what do you have to do? You have to.
You got to fix it up, and
So-
you can't do it without a fun song montage.
Yeah. Was it a reggae version of a 50s song? I believe
Here you go, buddy.
That was a really interesting song.
it was Saturday Night at the Movies. I believe it was Saturday Night at the Movies. Anyway, so they do this this montage
sounds
where
about
they
right.
clean the theater, and if you guys noticed, they put this popcorn machine up, and they focus on the popcorn machine for a second.
And that's the only reference to popcorn we see in the
No,
entire
Mark
movie.
says, "I'm gonna go get some popcorn." I was like, "Oh, he said it."
Yep, there it is.
Well, that's different. That's just talking about normal things.
The thing about it is when they zoomed in on it, is I think that was an original shot from the original director from the original script, where this popcorn machine was supposed to be possessed. It was supposed to be possessed with an evil spirit and cursed. That's why
I wish it would have.
So glad they didn't do that.
I did put in my trivia notes that the original title was linked to an element, a major element in the story, but they took away that element. But then, like, fuck it, we still like the name of the movie, so we're just
There you
gonna
go.
leave it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is cool. Actually, I think the name of the movie is cool.
because it's
This-
about
this-
making films and
all-
going to see.
while all
films,
this
you
is
know,
going
that
on,
kinda-
though, I forgot we skipped over this part, but Maggie's mom is receiving phone calls.
Who's Maggie's mom?
Dee Wallace.
That's right.
The incomparable Dee Wallace.
The
She played the
incomparable.
mom in Cujo, the mom in E.T. I saw her at Motor City Nightmares, and she told me that my son was super cute.
Did you hear that, everybody listening?
Yes.
Richie has the cutest baby in Wyandotte.
In Wyandotte,
We'll
Michigan.
never hear the end of it.
You never hear the end of
I'll
it.
edit out the city.
I've already got the tattoo. You guys can't see it. Anyway, you don't have to edit out the city.
The
Who cares?
tattoo of your baby
Yeah.
receiving the
Yeah,
award.
from the mayor.
Mayor, yeah.
It's a tattoo of your application.
She's receiving her mom is receiving these phone calls, right? And she answers the phone. Bring, bring. Hello. Do you know who the Ninth Circle of Hell is really for? And she's like, Who
I
is
Who
understood
this?
is this?
Uncle
Oh my
Leo.
God.
I understood it just as well as you just said it. I didn't hear what he said.
Do you know who the Ninth Circle of Hell is reserved for? I'm pretty sure it's what it
Yep.
is.
That's murderers.
There you go.
Is it murderers?
I think so.
Is that a real thing?
Well, it's Dante's Inferno.
Oh.
The Knights Templar.
They're like certain levels, like the ninth levels, like murderers and rapists and something.
Which,
and
Ooh,
that makes
I wanna
total
go to the-
sense
I'm going to
because
the
that
rapist
goes
one.
on.
Well, of course,
that goes
yeah.
into what we're getting at. So the montage happens. They clean the theater. You want to say something, Matt?
No, I said which one was for the rapists because I'm probably going to go there.
I don't know. That might be 8 or 9 or 8 or 7.
That's the 69th.
Like there's one for suicides, there's one for thieves.
You're
there's
like,
one,
well, actually, it's going to surprise you. That's only the first circle.
So she receives a phone call. Dee Wallace, mom. She receives a phone call. Come to the Dreamland Theater tonight, and we'll end this forever.
And she
Bring
knows,
your gun.
She knows what's. Yeah,
She
bring
knew what was going on the
Yeah.
whole time. Well, I skipped another major fucking plot point. I am so sorry, guys.
You
So
don't
while
need
they're
to- you
redoing
don't
the
need to be, we're only at like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, no. Why they're redoing this theater? Doctor, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Mintz comes, a friend of Toby's. Yeah, and he brings a
Menzies.
trunk that has all the gimmicks that they set up in the theater.
Who plays that? Who plays that gentleman?
Ray
Ray
Walston,
Walston.
Yep.
my favorite Martian, and he was also in another movie that I think we're gonna cover.
We might.
We're thinking about it.
It's a rad reference.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Super.
Do it again, Zach.
One more time.
No. It's a rad reference.
Boom. So in that, there's an old film, and they say, "Oh, cool, what's this?" And they put it on, and it's just a fucking, it's flickering on the screen, and it's just a close up of this guy's eye. And at any moment, you're waiting for a knife to get jabbed in it or something weird, and it's just,
And it wasn't. Yeah, it was. There wasn't.
and then it's just, it's her dream. It's his head on the table, and
Right.
he's like, possessor.
Here's the thing, though. After you watch it the first time, we are under the assumption that Toby put that movie in there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Because
Well, the first time I
really?
saw
I
it,
didn't
no,
think about that.
I'm not. The first time I saw it,
because what does Ray Walston's
I thought
character have?
I thought he put that in there.
I thought Ray Walston or
But what happens to Ray Walston?
We don't know. He just
just goes
disappears.
he's gone.
So
they watch it.
He had to shoot another movie about BMX
Maggie
bikes, I think.
immediately she does what anyone would do. She faints. She comes to, goes home, asks mom, "Hey, mom, my teacher told me that there was this guy who ran a film cult back in the day. His name was Lanyard Gates, and he made a movie called The Possessor. Do you know anything about that?" And as awkward as can be,
No.
what does mom do?
Let's go to California.
We should just get out of here. We
go.
just need to leave. Just leave everything behind. She's like, "Heck
up
no,
everything."
mom. I like what I'm doing."
But Mom, my script.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's
My
when she
script,
receives
Mom.
the phone call about meet me at the Dreamland Theater.
That's right. Yep, you are correct.
Okay. So, Dreamland Theater, she walks in. She's got the gun.
Please,
Please
talk about the
Nope,
marquee.
nope, no.
Please
that's
talk
what I
about the
wanted to ask
marquee.
Zach about. Now, Zach, The one thing about this movie that doesn't add up. Did you notice
There's
that?
no reason that the number should fly off and that the new movie title should
Can you
be there.
describe it to the audience,
Please,
please?
I want to hear it from the.
And
So
then put it
she's
in
looking up
context-
at the-
Try to put it in context with the rest of the film, like because
She's looking up at the marquee of the films that are playing, and it's the marquee for the Horrorthon. And all of a sudden, the letters start flying off of her. Yeah,
One at a time.
flying at her for some reason. She's all scared, and then all the letters fly off, and then it just says, and it reappears with the possessor on it, which is what's. And I think what Richie's
bad.
trying to get at is that it doesn't make any sense for the rest of the movie because there's nothing supernatural about anything.
Nothing supernatural about this movie.
That's the only thing, and it doesn't make sense with anything, unless she's just hallucinating or dreaming.
Which,
or
when you're watching the movie for the first time, you don't get until you watch it to the end, and then you rethink it, and you're like, "Wait, what?"
So like
That didn't
everything
make any
seems to be
fucking
real.
sense.
There's nothing supernatural. No one's.
Nothing. So
And you
It had to have-
you
so it had to have
pointed
been a
out
dream
that she wouldn't
sequence.
move. She wouldn't move out of the way of the
Oh
flying
yeah,
letter.
she didn't get out of the way. She just went. Like why
Yeah.
wouldn't you? I don't know. Take a step back.
now this is
like,
this is the change.
It's not
in-
that difficult.
the change in directors and the change in writing where they're like, fuck it, just leave that in there, even though it makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. It
No.
doesn't.
So then she goes
Unless
to
she
the
was
theater,
dreaming,
and then what do we see?
which
in
she
the
wasn't
theater?
because she couldn't have been dreaming because she shows up later in the movie.
In the theater, what she gets chased around, tormented. She thinks she shoots the bad guy. It just ends up being a dummy, and we see
Right.
our
Which
villain,
was a
who
lame,
we think at this-
lame part where
We
that
think-
is not a dummy. It's a person.
Yeah,
walking,
it's definitely a
You know,
person
and
standing
then
there.
you're supposed to make that connection where it's like a dummy with a noose around its neck that it was just hanging there.
Yeah.
But
it's
you watched that
clearly
part, that small part with me, and it's like
Right.
I was fooled, but I was fooled because I was they fooled me. Like, I mean, they tricked me at the end. Like they replaced it with something else because like it was not an actual dummy; it was a person. And
Right.
at the end, like, oh, it was a dummy. It's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. It was a person walking.
Definitely
Now-
a person walking.
I should remember. I've seen it way too many times.
It's
but
fresh in our mind because
do we see Lanyard Gates' face in this sequence, or is it
No.
in the basement sequence
No.
later on?
They
Long
zoom in
white
on
hair.
the dummy.
Long white hair, you know what I'm talking about? Burn face.
He's the one that buys the ticket, and he calls Maggie
Okay.
Sarah, right?
Which
Yeah,
is weird
yeah.
because Toby's up in the booth getting the movies ready.
By the way, did there have to be so many characters? They
Oh, all
could
the
have
film
cut like
students?
4 characters out, and it would have been a little bit easier.
Well, they
to-
needed more people to die. That's why they brought characters.
But they didn't kill
you're
them
right,
all,
That makes
you know,
sense.
They didn't fucking kill them all.
I was
true.
a little. I don't know. I got a little confused with all the names when I was kind of reviewing the plot.
Yeah, Zach's
and then
hand
you're
rubs
like,
on
okay,
Zach's,
Cheryl,
Zach's,
Maggie,
Zach's hand
Toby.
rubs on the table.
It's like,
When you were doing this, it was going.
loud.
It was no, just the vibration of the mic.
Oh, jeez.
I was watching your hand.
damn.
No,
Zach?
these are sensitive mics. man.
Adolf Fleming's here.
I know.
Sorry.
Use my. I can't do it. I can't do anything. Anytime I try to do a.
Do not
impression
rub
on
the
fly-
table.
Yeah.
All
of
your
a sudden,
voices
Arnold
just sound
Schwarzenegger.
exactly
Yeah,
like you.
Yeah.
Like
Get Judy Chapa.
much
That's
like
Adolf
Peter
Hitler.
Clavin from I Love You Man, and everybody says he sounds like a leprechaun. Any voice he does.
Slap at the bus.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Continue.
No. So she shoots. Guy falls. It's a dummy, but it's not a dummy.
Yeah, it's
and then all of a
definitely-
sudden, boom! You think she's gone. You think she's killed.
I
Right?
thought she was dead.
Horrorthon starts. Boom! Huge turnout. Like I said, like Rocky Horror. Everyone's in costume.
It's a
Selling-
great sequence, man. It looked like a lot of fun. I would love if
I
somebody
would go
did that
to that.
around here. They should do
There's
that with
no
the
way
Trenton
that
Theater.
anyone would have come up with that many awesome costumes. Like the guy with the
head.
the second head that,
That
like
was
vomits.
great.
It was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
The guy comes up, "Hey man, cool head." And he goes, "Excuse me."
And then the
great.
the film student character that I don't remember the name of, he gets dressed like a psych ward patient.
That was funny too.
And he's got these fucking
the white hair.
Yeah.
his white hair that come out in spikes on the top, and he's like, I look like a fucking snow cone.
Look at that fucking snow.
I thought when he was in that little cage, I thought that was I would give him a tip to the hat for his little acting where he's like, "Don't go in there, they're fucking crazy," you know, and like they're like, "Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
time for your injection," and he like genuinely freaked out a little bit.
How sad would it have been if like they didn't have a turnout?
Oh man, it would
They
be
put in
terrible.
all this work, and how did they get butts in the seats?
I guess I can't kill her.
I
Nobody
imagine-
showed
well,
up.
that was the whole point.
I
It's like
imagine
it's a
that,
fundraiser for the film department.
Right.
How did they get people to come?
Because there's not a lot of things to do in
The
Ocean
only
View.
thing they
And
did was put the marquee up.
I think.
that's
yeah.
it.
They didn't show like flyers.
The
passed around
marketing,
or
Well,
nothing
I mean,
at
that
all,
would have
yeah.
been boring. So I guess I understand. But
There's
like,
nothing else to do in Ocean View Valley U, or California,
Yeah.
aka Kingston, Jamaica. Oh,
Yeah, all of it was shot in Jamaica.
yep. And
That's why I didn't understand why. Like I was asking Matt, it's like, why are these kids into reggae?
I told him to shot in Jamaica.
now,
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me. I always wonder because, like, yeah, it's shot in Jamaica, but that doesn't mean that you can't play other music. You know, like,
well, you
hello,
gotta- maybe they had a little deal.
a
Like,
deal.
well, if you're gonna shoot it here,
I
we'll
will
give you a
say
discount, but we want some.
All right, I don't remember exactly how it happens because I don't think there's a reasoning for it happening though. Maggie somehow figures out the whole fucking plot. She's like, "Oh my god, that little girl Sarah in my dreams is actually me.
Whoa.
I
the
am
twist,
Lanyard Gates' daughter, and my mom is my aunt. My mom died. Now, in those flashback dream sequences, all that stuff, her mom in that is played by Bob Marley's ex-wife. I don't know her
Really?
name.
No shit.
Yes.
Very
I
nice.
did not know that.
Another like she just
How did
walking.
you know
I
that?
guess Jamaica's very small. How did it? Through one of the special features
Okay.
in it. Yeah, they were like, yeah, Bob Marley. Blah, 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 blah.
So that's the big twist in the movie is that she realizes that she's not herself; she's actually Sarah.
I don't think that's a twist though, because like you knew that, didn't you? Did you figure that out? I've
Well, you
watched
don't
it
figure
so
it out
many
until
times.
later.
I've watched it so many times since I was younger that I've known for so long, but I feel like it's obvious.
But wait, when do you find out that the mother is not actually her mother?
I think at the very end.
Is that
Yeah.
more of the twist then?
Towards
I think the biggest twist, which after these students get picked off, I'm not going to go into. I'm not, unless you guys want to, go into great detail about each death. I'd like
No,
to touch
no,
on
no, no. We don't need to
somebody
touch on
gets
that.
impaled by the
The mosquito.
mosquito, but then next thing you know, the people that are dying you'll see again because what this guy's doing is making masks of their face that look just like them
the
because
process.
Why is he making the mask again?
he has to cover. I don't know why.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh no! Well, no, it does make sense because he said when he was little he would have to go through prosthetic whatever.
Yeah, no,
to look
but-
like a normal person.
Yeah,
and I think he.
but to take their face and use it, what that doesn't make any sense.
it's just to make the move. It's just
Yeah,
to make
it's
the
all
movie.
for the
Take a look at these fried egg eyeballs.
Yeah,
And then it says he has to kill you to take your face, but then he uses somebody's face that's still alive when he kills them.
right.
Which
It's
is
just to add to the movie.
arguably
There's
the
no,
most
like-
confusing, worst death of the movie, in my opinion, is when the guy's taking a piss and
He
the guy
pees on him, and then
he comes in
he-
dressed as him.
He locks him in the stall.
It throws one of those stench tablets from the movie The Stench, one of the gimmick
in the
tablets
toilet.
in the toilet. The toilet. it starts to burble up, and
And then it explodes or something?
that's what it doesn't make sense. First, he's choking, and it makes him pass out. Even though they use a tablet earlier in the movie, and it's blowing in their faces, and they're just like, "Oh, that stinks." So, and then it blows up. I don't know.
This is driving me nuts. I can't find the band who sings scary movies at the end.
Oh,
It's like
The reggae band that goes on stage when the power's out?
it's two dudes' names. I just can't remember it. It's
Is it Rob and Fab?
It's something like that. I'm not
I
kidding.
hope someone gets that reference.
It's something like. Oh no, I don't.
Do you
know.
get it?
I love that. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Milli
Vanilli,
Vanilli.
man.
Oh, Milli Vanilli. Oh, jeez. No, it's two dudes' names, but I can't remember. But it's like scary movie, scary movie.
That, and then the only thing I can think of, remember, is like Saturday night at the movies. Like,
At the
okay.
movies.
Just apologize about
So
my
then-
allergies because I am.
Throughout throughout this movie, Mark is just getting Maggie's douchey obsessor is not douchey,
Mark's
but jockey.
Mark's the boyfriend
Yeah.
of Maggie and the one that
but they're
slides
not
down
really
the
not
ripcord.
boyfriend or girlfriend. You know, like he just wants to hit that real bad. He's got it for her bad.
You know what? He's not as much of a piece of shit as Kevin was from Just One of the Guys.
Oh my god,
Was it Kevin? Kevin was the boyfriend?
Kevin? Yes,
Kyle? Kevin?
Kevin. No, you're right. It's Kevin. He was a huge douche.
So Kyle, or what's? I'm sorry. Now I'm confusing the names.
Mark,
Mark, doesn't he kind of look like Joey Lawrence?
a little bit.
Whoa.
Whoa! Hey Blossom, you and Six need to come over here ASAP. Whoa! Whoa! So Mark is just getting Marcus is he's falling down. He's getting punched, knocked out. He's getting falling downstairs, this and that. They're fun with Mark, to say the least. So a couple people Toby gets locked out of the theater, has to walk around. Mark gets locked out. Mark and Maggie get locked out. Well, towards the end of the movie, what was the reasoning for Mark? He had to go to Toby's apartment because Toby was gone or something. Right?
His bimbo bitch says, your girlfriend.
Yeah, so
slamming
Maggie
Toby,
disappears.
Let's point out that bimbo
yeah.
bitch. She was. Oh God, I don't know what year. Was it 83? She was Playmate of
What's
the
her
Year,
name? Like
1983.
Karen
yeah.
Witter or something.
Karen Witter. Yeah,
Karen Witter.
Karen Witter. She was Playmate of the Year, 1983.
Oh,
she's
so
married
not
to
interrupt,
Chuck
that,
Lorre.
that bully guy, like kind of like
Eat
takes
shit,
Mark's seat.
asshole.
Mm-hmm.
That guy has the highest voice of any
For
macho
a
big
big
bully
dude.
I've ever heard in my life.
I love that.
shit, asshole.
No, he's
then he goes,
he's like,
"Oh,
eat
no."
shit,
Oh,
asshole.
Yeah, he does.
I'm a
Eat shit,
tough guy.
He definitely his nickname is definitely Tiny.
But Mark was like,
it's
you mind repeating that, fella? Fella, do you want to search my phrase? And then
Boom.
he stands up.
Mark gets knocked out.
And then it's that slow, like, no blood or anything, no bruise, or it's just
So
he just fades back from the camera. Like,
Yeah, it's
much
kind
like
of-
I'm doing from my microphone.
It's
right
kind of
now.
a good shot, actually.
it was a pretty good shot.
It was a good shot,
So-
but there's no like blemish or anything from the
yeah,
punch.
no, nothing.
But there's popcorn flying in the
yes,
background.
that's great. Another reference.
You
to the
said
title of the
the
film.
Anyway,
name of the
Karen
movie.
Witter is also the bride of Chuck Lorre, who wrote
I
Big
think
Bang
he
Theory.
created Big Bang Theory and
Yes.
Two and a Half Men.
Big Bang Theory, 2.5 Men.
2.5 Men. Yeah,
A
So-
famous feud with Charlie Sheen.
she still looks good. to
Oh,
this
I'm
day.
sure.
To
I'm
she
sure.
Got a lot of work done, but she
Well,
still
yeah.
she looks good.
So do you want to sum up like what are our final thoughts
Yeah,
as far as
yeah. I'll
wait,
go first. I'll go first.
wait.
What's up?
We can go to final thoughts, but we just have to say that you find out that Toby was the killer.
Yeah, the face.
So
plant.
is Toby Lanyard Gates or
No.
Gates
is dead.
He died in the theater.
he was the kid.
he burned
remember?
himself up, right?
He got burned as a kid.
He was in the
there.
theater. His parents were part of the film
No,
cult.
Lanyard burned himself up, right?
Oh, he got shot. No, he got shot.
He got shot?
and then burned.
Yeah, by the fake
Dee
mom's
Wallace.
sister.
And as they were escaping, the fire
I
started.
must have missed that part.
As they were escaping, Sarah or Maggie and Dee Wallace, mom, aunt,
Saggy.
Saved her.
saved her. The theater goes up in flames. Everybody dies except for, you think, those two. But Toby was there with his parents, who were part of the film cult. He becomes badly burned. He loses his nose, his ears, and all that. Gets
And he
teased his
lives
whole
and he
life.
wants it. The whole point of the movie is that he's taking revenge.
Yes.
Right.
He grows up, learns how to make masks, and that's how he's been duplicating people's faces.
Tormented by school bullies everywhere he
Yes.
went because of his face.
Greatly
gross.
acted ending. We
He
talked
was an
about.
awesome. He was an awesome. I liked it. And the funny
Yeah,
thing
his
is, he
acting was
my
actually
least-
pretty good.
He
I
was
wish-
my least liked character up until that point.
I wish he was.
That really Minnesotan
Wait, so
accent.
who was Toby in
We'll have an all-night horror thing.
Wait, so
It's like we
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Touched on this earlier. It's like Kermit the Frog. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's so hard being green.
Toby,
Oh, here there, Miss Piggy.
who is Toby in the beginning of the movie?
Just a film student.
Yeah, he's just one of the students,
one of the
in the
students
class
that
with
went
her.
with her.
A friend.
All right, there's another guy that looks just like him in the movie. Another tall white guy with a perm.
Yeah, that's the professor. He's
See,
the film
To-
professor.
Tony Robbins or Roberts, I forget his name.
Tony Robbins.
It's-
So I'm confusing Toby with there's another guy in the movie that looks just like him.
no.
Short, brown, curly hair.
There's a professor who's like 50, and then there's Toby who's younger.
They look alike.
They do look alike.
Okay, that's why I was a little bit confused by the end of the movie. Because I didn't know who was who. I thought for a second that the professor was the bad guy.
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop banging on.
Oh, the
table.
professor. Yeah, the professor was not the bad guy. It was Toby, the film student.
Yeah, the
The
professor.
professor died from the
Dead as fuck.
mosquito. Remember, he had
Can we
the-
touch on?
right.
Can we touch on when you
See,
find
but
out
it is-
the
they
one
kinda
student
look
and the
alike.
professor have been fucking the whole time, and they go to make out, and his face melts onto her face, and it stretches out
yeah.
like
She is hot too.
she's fucking smoking hot.
She is smoking hot. Like I don't like the fact that like that was the professor. That's just me being selfish.
There you go.
sorry,
It was
sorry,
you.
buddy.
I just wanted
Sorry.
to bring up that the big twist is, you find out that Toby doesn't really have a face, and he's out for revenge, and everyone lives happily ever after because Mark, the bumbling idiot, zip lines down to the stage, accidentally activates the mosquito, who
they're
then impales Toby, and what happens? It was a... Zach, what did you think of that final death of Toby?
The final death?
The
It was a
elaboration from
little
Zach.
like the death of Toby. It was a little bit weird, but I kind of like that it was weird. Like
He's
it was a
fucking
little.
flopping on that thing, man.
He was really. It was almost as if the
LeBron James.
mosquito was electrified.
Oh, I think it was. Didn't it combine like all the? I thought
No,
it was the
man,
mosquito.
the best
No, but
part-
I'd like it better if it was.
electrified,
Yeah,
wasn't
but
it?
the best part is if somebody was said, "Did they say that?" Now it's in my head that they did. Like, man, that stinks.
Yeah, I think they combined all the three
Ew.
films.
What the fuck?
Maybe I don't know.
You guys didn't catch that? I thought that was a.
Of course, I didn't catch
I
it.
caught the
I-
electrified the mosquito, but I didn't. I don't remember if they did. They say that?
Yep. Somebody says. It
Well, I just said that I thought of that 5 seconds ago when I said it.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I
As
didn't
many
think about
times
it
I've
then.
seen this movie, I
Um,
never really put that together.
I'll
though.
give my my final thought.
I'm biased. I
about the
love this movie.
Right. I'm
you
not
know.
going to be biased. I'm going to be straight up. I just like I told Zach and just like I told you. It was a nightmare for me getting to the end. When I was watching it, it was just like, God damn, you know what the fuck? Just get to Lanyard Gates. Why can't we see him? And then all of a sudden, it wasn't Lanyard Gates, and I was like, wait a minute, holy shit!
Pretty
and
good
like
twist.
the process of the mask making was amazing to me. Just the way he had like these molds and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then he cooled them off in this vat, this like clear, almost like a fish tank, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I thought that was so cool.
Fished him out.
The movie for me, I would give it a 6 out of a 10.
A 6 out of 10.
6 out of
Okay.
10. That's for me. Well, Zach, what do you think about it?
So, like I said, I didn't have a huge high expectations just because not hearing
Are
of
you
it.
talking about
and
going into it?
going into it because I knew
Never
it was
heard
kind of
of
a
it.
B movie. Never heard of it.
Right.
But it was better than I expected, and I think only because of its technical quality. I thought the makeup was actually kind of good, except for some of the parts of Toby. You can see like the back of his skull cap kind of ruffling up
Right,
a little bit.
right.
Not great, but like the mask stuff was really good.
Wasn't
and,
that
like,
cool? Like when they're in the vats? Like,
yeah, and they he
oh,
like
that's
rips
nuts.
off the mask, puts the new ones on.
that part where it's
That's the best part, man. When the fucking ears.
But
flap back.
there are scenes like there's a really the scene where what's the mother's name?
Oh, I've been calling her D. Wallace the whole episode.
You're talking about the,
Suzanne. I think it's
yes,
Suzanne.
When she's coaxed to the theater.
the lighting, right?
There's some really good lighting in that scene, and there's some really good lighting in the scenes between Toby and Maggie in the middle. There's some really good lighting in that film. It's actually not poorly shot, which is usually shitty films can't afford someone who's good. Like sometimes
Yeah.
they can be like, hey, I'm good and I don't need any money. But so basically, I thought it was not a great movie. I would say I don't know, maybe 6 out of 10 as far as movies go. But like for the again, this is just like we had chatted about with other movies where it was good for what it was trying to do. So for what it was trying to be, I would say 8 out of 10. I don't know. I guess so.
8 out of 10?
8 out of 10.
For the movie
Fuck
it was
me
trying to
running.
be. It was trying to be this. For that, it was I think doing it really well. Although I wish they would have not. I wish they would have made it less of a slasher film and more of an homage to 50s gimmicky theater shit, like they did in the movie Matinee. If you ever saw that movie.
Oh, so, was that the one with Jim Carrey?
No, you're thinking of the
Oh, the something theater.
Majestic.
The Majestic, thank you.
But there's a movie from the 90s called Matinee where it's all about these 50s movies, like monster movies. I can't remember the rest of it, but I would have liked it just more to be an homage about 50s gimmicky movies other than turning into a slasher film.
8 out of 10, though, huh?
For the movie it was trying to be, it was really good.
Okay.
What about for the movie it is?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
5. Ooh. Well, me personally, I grew up loving this movie, and after rewatching it in high definition as a 32-year-old man, I can say that it's not as good as I thought it was. But I still stick. What really drug me in was the box art back in the day, and then the twists and the plot. I said it at the
love
beginning.
twists,
I
dude.
think that it was ahead of its time. Which, if you think about it, it was. The number 1, 2, and 3 genre slasher grossing movies were Scream 1, 2, and 3.
Scream had to have got its
It was
roots
Scream
from it,
before
dude.
there was Scream, in my opinion.
Like
Yeah.
movie that was like they were referencing, they were very self-aware.
They were
Oh,
very
for sure,
self-aware.
yeah.
Yeah. I still like it. I would definitely probably. I don't want to. I would say 6.5, 7 out of 10 because I don't want to go that high. I agree the effects are fantastic,
May
for the movie that it is.
may I ask?
I will say,
Richie, what about like a 10-year-old review?
10-year-old review. I'm like, oh my
10
god,
out of 10,
10 out of
bitch.
fucking 10. If you don't go rent that, you're fucking stupid.
You're dumb.
You're dumb. I will say that I didn't get to this, but I don't remember being this bad. But the Rotten Tomatoes thermometer gives it 29%.
Thermometer.
There's only 17 reviews for the thermometer part.
Right.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I think it's tomato meter, but I
No,
like
it's
I like
Oh,
I
it's,
like
no,
thermometer.
it's one word.
I like
so,
thermometer.
So
it is thermometer.
it's got a
Yeah.
it's got an average 5.3 out of 10
Tome
out of
teacher.
the 17 reviews it has. The average is 5.3 out of 10. The audience 40% liked it. The average score is 2.9 out of 5 after
Ooh.
2,335 reviews.
Ooh.
How many?
So 2,335. So this movie got
Ew.
dragged.
All right.
It's not terrible.
Well,
I liked it. Like I said, I'll go 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
It's fun.
Not terrible. No one hated me for it. You know, Zach seemed to semi-enjoy it. Matt had to watch
You know,
it
I
way
think
too
there
many
needs to be a
times.
new meter. I think there needs to be a fun meter. You can have shitty
Oh,
movies.
I got you.
You can have
Yeah.
shitty movies that are 0 to 10, whatever.
Fun, 9,
a fun
10.
meter. You know what? For the movies,
no,
type
dude,
of movies
fun
we do,
10.
fun meter is
10.
great.
Fun is 10.
Fun meter. I'll put an 8 on the fun meter.
I'll put a 10 on it, dude.
I'd go 10 on the fun meter. It was fun. It was different.
I'm
I'm putting myself in 1991
Oh, yeah.
looking at this movie thinking that I have not seen these other movies, and I think 10 for sure.
Yeah, because I think it's
for
good
me.
mirror because like you can have really shitty movies that are really fun, and vice versa. I mean, you wouldn't put
I think we just developed a standard for our podcast.
you
now.
wouldn't
There you
put
go.
Schindler's List at 10 on the fun meter. I mean, it's a fan.
Who are you asking?
You
don't
made
know
out
anything.
during
me and
Schindler's
Zach are
List.
me and Zach
You're
are
necking
fairly
your
new.
Schindler's List?
Me and Zach are fairly new friends. How the fuck do you know how I feel about Schindler's List?
I don't know. It depends. I don't know how.
I had to go see.
I don't know how
Schindler's List in the
xenophobic
theater.
you are.
I had to go ahead. I had to go see Schindler's List in the theater and had zero desire to be there. And it was in black and white. And little Richie was like
He wasn't in that movie.
so mad. Anyway,
So it's for like that's just an example.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I get
is Schindler's List a fun movie? No, I wouldn't say it's fun. It's a brilliant piece of work. It's great, but is it fun? Probably not.
Right.
It's enjoyable. Enjoyable is,
Exactly.
I think, on a different meter. But the fun meter, I think popcorn's higher on my list as far as if you just do a fun meter.
Yeah,
Cool,
I give it a 10 on fun.
There we go.
6 out of 10 for, whatever.
all right, guys. I think that about sums it up. That's a conclusion for this episode of Video Store Rewind. Again, I am Rich. Zach to my right, Matt to his, and together we form Voltron of everything from the 80s and 90s that you hate and love.
That's fucking awesome. I love
if
that,
you
Richie.
guys stick around, we're going to be touching on movies like Rad, Just One of the Guys, Jacob's Ladder, and then we haven't picked any more yet after that, so
What's
you'll
the
find
comment?
out with us. But it's going to be fun, and I feel like now that we all have got all our shit together and we've got those millions flowing in from Farmer Jack,
Our
that
production value exponentially increased.
Thank you again to Farmer Jack for their generous.
Yes, thank you, Farmer.
I'm
generous,
just bummed, dude. I went to Meijer
donations.
earlier and I paid a shit ton. I didn't know about the double. What is it? Mileage points?
Well,
Yeah,
got a
you get
Farmer
you get
Jack right down the
you get
street.
Sky
I know,
Miles
I
for
know.
every package of Dunkaroos and
Stupid me.
PB Crisps and Oreo O's and Squeeze-Its.
Squeeze it. Do they,
Is that what those are called? I mean, are called
Squeeze it? Yes, and then also
the Squeeze-Its
I really-
you put
I
in your
really-
lunch. I mean, you do
I'm
put in your
losing
lunch.
it right now.
do that slower. No,
The hand-
anyway.
the hand gesture.
what about Mondo's?
We got to cut this.
No, we don't.
We
All
gotta
right,
get-
guys, we're Video
All right,
Store
take care.
Rewind. We're not on any kind of time schedule like Adolf behind the board would tell you. So join us next week when we discuss another movie. Thank you and goodbye.